Thank you all for joining us for our second session of our seated exercise circuit. I can see that there's still some people trickling into the webinar room, so I'm just going to hold off a couple of seconds here so that everyone can get a chance to sign on and turn on their audio. Hi, everyone. Okay. So before we get started today, I'm going to introduce myself again because I know we have some new folks joining us for our second session. So for those who don't know who I am, my name is Shelly. I'm a Neuro Physiotherapist with Parkinson Society BC. And this is our seated exercise circuit class. It's a 3-week session. So next week is going to be our final week, which has gone by really quick. Oh, hi, Neil. What we're going to be doing during our class is we're going to be sitting down for the entire class, as the name implies, because it's a seated exercise class. So for those who are looking for a more challenging standing class, you can sign up for our April Challenger, which is coming up. And that one's going to be a little bit more difficult, more standing, more balance work, those kind of things. But this class we're doing today is going to be fully seated, so you don't need to be standing for this one. And if you are new to exercise, you can, of course, follow along to the best of your abilities. And if there's anything that feels too difficult or you just need to take a break during the class, that's okay. You do you, as long as you keep trying to move along with us if you can. And before we start today, I also want to remind everybody that there is a chat box for our webinar room today, which I think some of you have already found. Thank you for your hellos. For those who are not sure where the chat box is, it should be on your right-hand side of your screen. It should say a public chat room. If you click on that, it'll open up. If you don't see it on the right side of your screen, it might be in a collapsed icon, which should be at the bottom of your screen. It looks like a little chat box. You click on it and it expands, and then you have your chat box. So the chat box is really useful because you're going to be communicating with me through the chat box if you wanted to communicate with me, because I won't be able to hear any of you during the class, since you can imagine if we have everybody's microphones turned on, it'll get quite noisy. So you can use the chat box if you want to talk to me or if you have any questions about anything. And like always, today's exercise class is going to be recorded. So it does mean that if you would like to review the recording or try the class in your own time in the future, you can always find that on our YouTube channel. Our first session of the class from uploaded onto YouTube. So if you're not sure where to find that, you can drop us an email at info@parkinson.bc.ca. And it is also at the very top of the chat box there. It's pinned to the top, so you can use that email to contact us if you would like. Okay, so today's class is going to be a little bit different to last time. It's going to be a similar style. We'll do a warm-up together, and then we'll do our circuit, which is the main part of the class. We're going to be doing 5 different exercises, and we're going to do them for 2 minutes each, and we'll run through them twice. And a lot of these exercises are based on the PD Warrior syllabus. So if anyone does that, hopefully it should look pretty familiar. Oh, I see a comment here that I'm freezing a bit. Okay, if I am freezing a bit, see if you can refresh your page, and that usually helps rectify the problem. And that's normally because when we have a lot of people in our webinar room, sometimes the webinar can slow down a little bit every now and then. But on my end, it looks like the internet is holding well. So fingers crossed that the internet will continue holding well for the duration of the class. Okay, well, without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to move back towards my chair. So hopefully you can all see me okay. So I'm going to be back here where my chair is. Now, if you're sitting in a chair with armrests, I just want you to be a little bit mindful that we're not hitting our arms on anything as we're doing our exercise class today. And when we're seated, I want you to just shuffle forward to the front of your chair so that we can have our feet flat onto the floor. I see a comment here. Oh, Nick asked, many of your exercises are 2 minutes. Any reason why? Okay, so the reason we do 2 minutes per exercise is not really based on a certain science. It's sort of a modified way of doing sort of the higher intensity interval workouts that you might see people do at the gym. But the reason we put it as 2 minutes rather than 30 seconds or 20 seconds is because 2 minutes gives you enough time to familiarize yourself with the exercise and then actually be able to do them with the right motor output, right? Because if we're doing an exercise for only 20 minutes, likelihood is for the entire 20 minutes, you're trying to see what's going on. You're trying to figure out how to do the exercise. And then by the time you start the exercise, 20 seconds have passed. So for that reason is why we try to do 2 minutes so you have enough time to orientate yourself to each new exercise and be able to do them and get a decent workout before we then have a break. Okay, we're gonna sit forward in our chair and we're gonna start by marching on the spot. So all we're gonna do here is we're gonna make sure we're sitting up nice and tall. We're not slouching back into the chair. And we're going to swing those arms and lift those knees up nice and high, opposite arm to leg, swinging in our marching movement. And as you do the marching on the spot, it's important to recognize that your arms are not just swinging forward, right? But we want to swing them back as well. So you want both the forward and backward swing of the arm. Good, nice and high with those knees, swinging those arms. Sitting up nice and tall. Imagine you've got a book balancing on your head. You don't want to be slouching or bending over to the side. Good. We're going to pick up the marching just a little bit quicker, almost like we're walking around with purpose. Good. Keep it going. Chest up, head up, nice and tall with the spine as we're doing our marching position. Now, we're going to keep doing the same marching pattern, except this time we're going to move the legs in a bit of a different direction. So we're going to go forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, back. So exactly the same marching pattern. We're just moving our legs forward and back. And you're still trying to keep yourself up nice and tall as you're doing this marching pattern. So when we move our legs forward and back, we want to make sure we're not leaning back, we're not leaning to the side. We're sitting nice and tall over our sit bones. Good. Nice and tall with that spine. Keep going with the forward and back. Forward and back. Good. We're going to do a few more here. And then when you're ready, you're going to reverse the pattern to the other side. So if you've gone forward with your right leg, you know, forward with the left this time. So still going forward, forward, back, back, but switching sides. Still sitting up nice and tall. Spine long. Lift those knees up nice and high. Make sure your arms are still swinging. You want to make sure they're going forward and backward, not just swinging forward. Good. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Good. Back to our normal march. On the spot, normal marching on the spot, not moving our legs forward or backward anymore. This time, as we march, we're going to float those arms up to the side like so. So we're going to keep that marching pattern, but we're reaching those arms out to the side, almost like you're trying to make the letter T with your arms. And as we're doing this marching, we're now going to bring our knee to our hand. Opposite knee to our hand, back down. Sitting up nice and tall as we're doing this movement. We don't want to be slouching down real low like this, right? We want to sit up nice and tall,
chest up. Make sure the arms open back up into this T shape each time. Now, it's important that we're bringing our knee to the hand and not the hand to the knee, because what we don't want to concentrate on is being down here, but we want to think about the knee lifting up to meet the hand. Good. Now remember, if anything I'm doing here feels too fast for you, don't worry. Slow it down, do the same movement, but do it at a pace that works for you. So it's okay. You don't have to do the same speed. And same with if you feel like anything we're doing is too slow for you, by all means, you can speed it up as long as the technique of the exercise stays the same, right? So we're not slouching and making our movement smaller just because we're going faster. Okay, keep this pattern going. This time we're going to bring the knee to the forearm. So forearm of the opposite side. So you got to twist your body a little bit more since we're bringing the forearm to the knee, or the knee to the forearm. Making sure we're opening the arms back up to that T shape each time. Spreading the chest wide, sitting up nice and tall, lifting those knees as high as you can. Good, well done, everybody. I know this one's a little bit more difficult because you ought to twist more. Okay, and on the next one, we're going to now bring the knee to the elbow, or the elbow to the knee, whichever way you look at it. And this time we're going to twist a little bit more time in order to get the knee and the elbow to meet together. So you're thinking about the knee meeting the elbow on the opposite side, right? Not the same side. Sitting up nice and tall still. Really using your trunk muscles to stay balanced so we don't fall backwards as we're lifting the leg off the floor. You want to really twist your spine on top of your stable sit bones. Good. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop the arms. Okay. This time we're going to tap our heel forward like so. So you're straightening your leg in front to tap that heel down and then bring it right back. So we're not tapping and then leaving our leg there, but you're imagining the floor is very hot and you're just about touching the floor and then you lift it right back in. Sitting up nice and tall as we're doing this tap, and we're going to add the arms. So as we bring that leg forward, we're going to now push the arms forward as well. Noticing here that I'm spreading my fingers and palms nice and wide, tapping that heel forward as we're pushing those arms straight in front of us. Sitting up nice and tall, no slouching, not leaning back into our chair. We're going to make sure we're nice and tall over our sit bones as we move our limbs. Good. So remember, if this is too fast, don't worry, slow it down. If this is too slow, feel free to speed it up. As long as you're doing the same movement, it doesn't matter what speed. Although if you're moving really slowly, I would like you to challenge yourself to see if you can go a little bit quicker and be able to turn on and off those muscles a little bit quicker. Good. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop the arms. Still sitting up nice and tall. This time, we're going to bring our leg out to the side. So I know when you're sitting in a chair, it's a little bit harder to bring that leg out to the side, especially depending on what chair you have. But if you can shuffle to the very front of your chair, it makes it slightly easier to open up those hips. So it's okay if you can't straighten your leg. Just think about tapping to the side. So we're tapping our toes to the side, one leg at a time. Noticing here how I'm sitting up nice and tall. So I'm not doing this as I'm moving, but I'm sitting up nice and tall, keeping my center of gravity in the middle, and then trying to tap those legs out to the side. Okay, We're gonna bring our hands up to our chest, elbows up nice and high as we're tapping, and we're gonna add in the arms. So we're gonna open those arms as we tap out to the side, and then bring them back in onto our chest when the leg comes back as well. So we're tapping to the side while reaching those arms out, opening the chest, spreading those fingers nice and wide. Well done, everybody. I know the sideways movements is always a little bit more challenging when you're in the chair. Good, well done. Elbows nice and high. Open your chest, sitting tall, reaching those arms out as you bring the leg out to the side. Good. We're going to do 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, last one, and drop the arms. Okay. We're going to now do a bit of a stretch. We're going to float the arms up to the T shape we had earlier. And from here, we're going to tip the entire body down to one side. So as I'm doing this, you'll notice that my chest is facing forward, right? So I'm not doing this. Can you see? So I'm not slouching forward and crunching to the side, but I'm keeping my chest open in front of you, almost like you want your breastbone to be facing your computer screen or your iPad screen. Good. Come back up. Same thing, other side, tipping down, almost like you're reaching those arms on a diagonal, keeping your chest forward. You should feel a stretch on the outside of your body there. And then coming back up, one more each side, nice and tall, tipping over from the waist so you can feel that stretch. Good, well done, everyone. And come back up. Same thing, other side, tipping down, keeping your chest forward. Good. And come back to the middle, drop the arms. Okay, this time we're going to take one of our hands and we're going to reach across our body to try to grab hold of our legs. So you're reaching the arm across onto the opposite thigh, and then the other hand is going to reach around and grab the chair. From here, you're going to twist your body to the side by pulling on those arms, pulling on your thigh, pulling on the chair with your arms to try to twist your body. So you're thinking about your spine like it's being wrung, like a towel that's being wrung. Good, holding it there nice and tall. And we're gonna relax. Same thing, other side. Other arm, reach across to the outside of the opposite thigh. Then the other arm is going to reach for the chair, sitting up tall. Using your arms, you're gonna twist your body over to the other side, thinking about your spine to be as long and tall as possible. It's being turned on the spot, rotated on the spot. Good, holding it here for a few more seconds. And then we're going to come back to the middle. Okay, let's get started with our circuit. Can you believe that was the warm-up? I promise the circuit won't be too difficult. Okay, our first exercise here, we're gonna clasp our hands together like so, keeping the arms nice and straight. What you're gonna do here is you're going to straighten one of your legs to show me the bottom of your foot. Meanwhile, you're taking your arms and you're drawing a big figure of 8. And then you're bringing that leg down. Same thing, other side. Straightening the leg, showing me the bottom of your foot. And then we're drawing a big figure of 8. And then bringing that leg down. Okay, that's it. That's the first exercise. You're sitting up nice and tall, drawing a big figure of 8 while the leg stays nice and tall, working on a little bit of balance and strength in those legs. Okay, are we ready? Arms out. 2 minutes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Legs straight, drawing a figure of 8 as big as you can, or you can draw an infinity sign if that's a little bit easier for your shoulders. Making sure as you're doing that, your leg is staying as straight as possible. And we're not leaning back into our chair, but we're sitting up nice and tall. It's like you're sitting on a stool and there's back to the chair. Trying to keep the same height the whole time if you can. The bigger you draw the figure of 8, the more difficult it is because you have to balance a bit more when you throw your center of gravity off the middle. Good. Well done, everybody. Making sure that leg is nice and straight. Lift it up as high as you can. Show me the bottom of your foot. 1 minute left. Keep it going if you can. Try not to take a break if you can, but if you absolutely need to, that's okay. You can have a rest and then come right back into it if you can. Doing really good, everybody. You got 35 seconds left. 2 minutes goes by quick. Good. Keep moving those arms, thinking about that figure of 8, making sure that leg is nice and straight in front of you. 20 seconds. Keep it going. Remember, it doesn't have to be the same speed I'm doing, as long as you're doing the same technique and the same exercise. 10 seconds. Almost there. You got 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, good. Not too bad, I hope. That was our first exercise. Our next one, we're going to bring the arms out to the side, palms facing forward. So I don't want to see anyone's shoulders turned down like this. Arms facing forward, nice open chest. What we're going to do here is we're going to take one of our arms and we're going to clap to the side. So it's kind of like you're bringing your arm to meet the other hand, and then you're opening back up to a T shape. Same thing on the other side. Arm across, and then open to a T shape. Okay, so that's the arms. Now we're going to add the legs. As we do this movement, as we clap, we're going to reach the leg in the opposite direction. So notice here, if I'm reaching to this side with my arms, my leg is going in the opposite direction, and then I'm coming back like so. And the same thing on the other side, clapping over, reaching that leg out to the side, and then bringing it back in. So of course here, you can see my leg is pretty straight, right? And that might be difficult for you depending on your hip mobility and depending on the type of chair you're in. So it's okay if your leg is bent, but you're trying to do this twisting motion, okay? And the more forward you sit in your chair, the easier. If we're all the way back here, you're not really going to be able to move very much because your hips are stuck on the chair. But if we move forward a little bit more, you can open up the hip more. Okay, are we ready? 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1, and go. And you'll notice here, as we're moving the arms and legs and twisting at the same time, it might feel a little bit challenging to balance on that seat. And that's okay. That's the point. So don't panic if you find that the balance is a little bit challenging or that you're having issues moving that hip as far as you like. That's okay. Keep working on it. We're just going to practice sitting up nice and tall and trying to move as big as you can. Really think about reaching those arms out to the side. Keep those elbows straight, almost like you're reaching to the opposite direction in the room. Reaching for the walls of the room, and you're moving that leg as well. Sitting up nice and tall. You're a minute in. You've got 1 minute left. You can do it. Now remember, if this is too fast, don't worry. Slow it down. It's absolutely fine as long as we do this movement with big amplitude, trying to reach out of your comfort zone. Practice your balance as we're moving the arms and legs. Doing good, everybody. You got 40 seconds left. You're almost there. Double check your arms. Are they still up nice and high? Are they still parallel to the floor, or are they down here? If they're getting lower, see if you can reach the arms up higher, shoulders away from the ears, sitting nice and tall. Open your chest. Enjoy the movement. You're almost there. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest those arms. Okay. How are we doing? Hopefully you're still with me. Our next one is going to be our wood breaker. So we're going to think about, we're going to imagine you have a plank of wood in your hand. Okay, so imagine you're holding a piece of wood in your hands and you're reaching it up overhead. And what you're going to do here is you're going to imagine this piece of wood in your hands. You're trying to break it over the top of your knee. And then you're going to reach back up. Same thing, other side. You're breaking that piece of wood with the knee and reaching back up. Now, really important is we don't just do this. Okay, so we're not just moving the arms down over our knees, but you're actually thinking about the knee coming up as well. So you're thinking about the knee coming up to break that piece of wood as well. And this position here is kind of the key. You're trying to hold it for a second or two and then reach back out. So as we're doing this movement, we're not slouching back or leaning to the side. We're sitting up nice and tall in this balance and then opening back up. So the emphasis is on the force, how much force you can generate with bringing the knee and the arms toward each other and then balancing and then reaching back up. Okay, are we ready? 2 minutes, you can do it. Okay, we're gonna start. 3, 2, 1, and go. You're really trying to get that force. You're trying to bring that knee up toward your arms and your arms toward your knees. And sitting up nice and tall, balancing for a second or two. Good, making sure we're not leaning back into our chair. We're sitting up nice and tall each time. Good. I really want you to work on the efforts. I don't want to see anybody do this super quick. I don't want to see anybody do this too quick. I want you to think about that force, hold, and then open. Emphasize on that force you're generating with the arms and legs coming toward each other. 1 minute left. Well done, everybody. Sitting up nice and tall if you can. Remember, if you need a break, that's okay. Have a break and come right back into the exercises if you can. Well done, everybody. Nice and tall. Got 30 seconds left. You're almost there. Keep it going. Keep trying to bring that knee up nice and forcefully. Really imagine that piece of wood in your hands. And you're trying to break it over the knee. Well done, everyone. Got about 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. How are we feeling? Okay, you've got 2 more exercises, and then we're going to repeat the 5 again, and then that's it. And then you have a cool down. So you're almost there. Okay, our next one is going to be, we're going to start with our arms on our hands, or sorry, oh my gosh, can't talk today. Hands on your chest is what I meant, and your elbows up nice and high, pointing out to the side, sitting up tall. So we're going to open our hand and our leg on the same side together, like this. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, the arm and the leg opening, nice and wide. And then we're going to bring the other side back in together, and in on the other side again. So you're going out, out, in, in. Noticing how my hands are spread nice and wide, and you're going to do the same thing again, starting with the other side. Out, out, in, in. Other side again. Out, out, in. So what you're thinking about here is, you know those wooden puppets that have arms and legs that do this? And then as you pull on strings, they kind of do this movement, but the body stays still. It's sort of like that. So as we're moving our arms and legs, noticing here how my body's not really moving. It's kind of like your limbs are floating and they're separate to your body. And that's the kind of quality we're aiming for. We're trying to sit up nice and tall and move our arms and legs as wide, as big as we can. The sillier you feel, the better. So you're trying to move those arms and legs nice and big without the body doing this at the same time. Okay, let's try it. We're going to do 2 minutes. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Make sure we're switching sides each time. We go out, out, in, sitting tall, out, in. So this is really tough for you and you're having a real difficult time trying to stay nice and tall over your sit bones, you might want to think about sitting forward a little bit more in your chair to open up those hips. Or if you are already forward in your chair and this is still tough, that's okay, don't worry. Try your best, just open those legs and close them as wide and as forceful as you can, okay? Trying to lift those knees nice and high each time. So imagine that puppet analogy we talked about. You're thinking about your arms and legs sort of floating away from your body. And also if you can do loud stomps, even better. How we doing? You're 1 minute in, you got 1 minute left. Almost there. Double check where your arms are. Are they still reaching nice and wide or are they falling down by your side? Shoulders away from the ears. By all means, you can do this slower or faster. Whatever works for your body today, as long as you keep moving. Well done. You got 30 seconds left. You're almost there, almost there. Keep it going if you can. 20 seconds. Reach, reach. Spreading those arms nice and wide, stepping the leg out as far as you can. You got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo, well done. Shake out those arms, shake out those legs if you need. Okay, we got one more exercise, and then we're going to repeat the 5 exercises that we did. Okay, so next one, what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you the legs first. So we're going to take one of our legs, and we're going to step forward with the leg, and then bring it back to the middle. With the same leg, we're going to step out to the side and bring it back in. Same thing on the other side. We're stepping the leg forward, bring it back in, stepping that same leg out to the side and bring it in. Same thing, other side. We go forward and side, back in, other side, forward and to the side. Okay, so that's the pattern with the legs. We're going to add the arm. So as we step forward, we're going to reach the opposite arm to leg. Let me go to the side. As we step forward, I'm going to reach the opposite arm to leg forward, and my other arm is going behind. Can you see? So I'm reaching in opposite directions. Let me show you that again. We're going to step forward, reach the opposite arm to leg forward, The other arm, the one I'm waving right now, is reaching behind you. Spread those fingers. Imagine you're reaching for something. Come back in. And then when you bring that leg out to the side, you're going to reach those arms out to the side. Bring it in. Same thing, other leg. Step forward, reach the opposite arm to leg. Forward, the other arm is reaching behind you. Come back in. Same leg out to the side as you reach those arms out to the side and bring it back in. Let me turn back to face you. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me show you again from the front. So we're going step forward, reach the opposite arm and leg, in, out to the side, and in. Other leg, step forward, reaching opposite arm to leg, in, step out to the side, reach, and come back in. Make sense? This one's a little bit of a thinker, I know, in terms of coordination, but let's try it. You can start slow to begin with, and then hopefully as the 2-minute goes on, you get the hang of it. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Making sure each time you're reaching, you're really aiming to reach for something. Same with the leg. When you step out, you're trying to lift that leg as high as you can to step out and to bring it back in. And you're stepping as far away from your body as you can. You're aiming to move as big and as effortful as you can. Imagine your limbs being stretched in opposite directions. How we doing, guys? Well done. Really open that chest. We're still sitting nice and tall. So at no point should we be leaning in our chair, right? Want to make sure we're sitting nice and tall over our sit bones the entire time. Lifting that leg nice and high. Remember, if this is too fast, that's okay. Slow it down. Or if you want to move quicker, that's fine as well, as long as you're not compromising on the amplitude of your movement. You got 45 seconds left. Almost there. Well done, everybody. 30 seconds left. Almost there. 15 seconds. Keep stepping, keep reaching, moving as big as you can. Well done. You got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, how are we feeling? Hopefully we're okay. We're going to do that again from the beginning. So we're going to do our last 5 exercises again, 2 minutes each. Now, the first one, we were clasping our hands together, and this is the one where we straighten the leg, show the bottom of your foot, and we're doing that figure of 8 drawing in front of us. And then we repeat on the other side, figure of 8. So really important is we use our thigh muscle. We're not just having the leg here on the floor. We're not straightening on the floor, but you're lifting it up, showing me the bottom of your foot if you can. Okay, are we ready? 2 minutes, you're almost there. 5 more exercises and you're done. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Trying to stay balanced. Remember, at no point should we be leaning back in our chair. We're sitting up tall, moving those arms in the figure of 8, reaching the bottom of that foot forward toward the screen. Almost like you're trying to kick somebody in front of you. Well done, everybody. Making sure that figure of 8 is nice and big if you can. Well done. If you need a break, have a little break. And then get right back into it if you can. Keep trying to challenge yourself in this exercise class. You're almost there. You've got 55 seconds left of this exercise. You're almost there. Well done, everybody. 45 seconds. Sitting up nice and tall. Big figure of 8. Almost there. 35 seconds. Doing good. Last 30. Well done. 20 seconds left. Nice and tall. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. Okay, well done. 4 exercises left, and then we're done. You're almost there. Okay, this next one, we're going to bring those arms out to the side, palms facing forward, not down, forward, sitting up nice and tall. And what we're going to do here is we're going to clap our arms to the side while reaching the leg in the opposite direction and then bring it back to neutral, making sure the arms stay in this T position when you come back to the middle. Same thing other side, clapping the arm to one side, reaching that leg away from you, and then come back to the middle. I think we remember this one. Okay, are we ready? 2 minutes. Get ready. Bring your arms out to the side, palms open. 3, 2, 1, and go. So remember, if anything feels too fast, don't worry, it's okay. Keep trying to move at your own pace, but still try to make the movements as big as possible. So the only thing we're not compromising on in this class is how big your movements are. Making sure we're sitting forward in our chair in order for the legs to be able to move, because if you're sitting far back in your chair, chances are your hip is probably not going to have a lot of room to move around. So you'll notice as I'm clapping to the side, I'm twisting my body. So I'm not doing this, right? I'm not just moving my arms to the side, but I'm physically turning my body to either side. Well done, everybody. You've got about a minute left. How are we doing? Are we still keeping up? So remember, it doesn't have to be the same speed I'm doing. By all means, slow it down. But I want you to keep reaching the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Really hold those arms up, making sure they're not falling toward the floor. 30 seconds, almost there. Hopefully you're all still breathing. Making sure when you're exercising, you're breathing through it, especially when we're thinking about the movement. A lot of the times we tend to hold our breath. So make sure you're breathing as we're doing this. It'll help with that muscle fatigue. Almost there, 8 seconds. Reach, reach, reach. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew, okay. You've got 3 exercises left, and then we're done. You're almost there, almost there. Okay, our next one is going to be our wood breaker or plank breaker. So you're thinking about that piece of wood in your hands, and you're reaching it up overhead, and then you're going to drive your knee up while you bring the arms down. Try to break that imaginary piece of wood over your knees, and then reach it back up, reset for the other side. And the important thing here that we're doing with this exercise is the motor output. So you're aiming for the power of you driving your arms down and bringing the knees up. Hold that power for a second or two. Then you separate the arms and legs, right? So we're working on that power, that motor output. And sitting up nice and tall with our balance. Okay, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. So remember, this one's not necessarily fast, except for the part where you're driving the knee up and bringing that plank of wood down, or the imaginary plank of wood. Please don't actually hold a piece of wood, but you're aiming for that motor output. How much effort can you put into that movement? And then once you've done that movement, you're going to hold it. Keep holding the effort for just a few seconds, and then you reset. Well done, everybody. Making sure we're not leaning back in our chair. We want to sit up nice and tall if we can. And remember, if you need a break at any point, that's okay. No worries. Have a break and then see if you can come right back into it. You want to challenge our endurance a little bit here. Well done, everyone. Keep it going. Good. Keep it going. You've got less than a minute left. Good. Well done. Almost there. Got about 30 seconds left, roughly. Maybe a bit more. 35. You can do it. Keep thinking about the effort of breaking that piece of imaginary wood, making sure our knees are lifting up and we're not just moving the arms. Lift the knee up to meet your hands, to break that imaginary piece of wood. Almost there. Well done. You've got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew, okay. You've got 2 exercises left, and then we're done. Okay, our next one, we'll bring our hands open onto our chest, elbows out nice and wide. This is the one where we step out, out, in, in. So this is the analogy when we were thinking about that little wind puppet where you pull on the strings and it does this, right? So that's what we're aiming for. So you're going out, out, in, arms moving with the leg. So the arm and leg on the same side always move together, like so. And making sure we're not dragging our feet, right? But we're lifting. The arms and legs lift together, like that puppet analogy, okay? Okay, 2 minutes. You're almost there. 2 exercises left. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Making sure you switch sides each time. So if you're going right, left, you're going left, right on the next one. Thinking about the arm and leg on the same side, moving together, lifting the knees nice and high off the floor, or the feet off the floor rather, lifting the knees high, but your feet off the floor. Well done, everybody. How are we doing on this one? Really reach those arms, reach those legs, separate them nice and wide away from each other. Make the movements as big as possible. Imagine you're giant and you're being very loud with your feet. That stomp is going to help with that effort level. Well done. 1 minute left. Almost there. Well done. You got 1 more exercise after this, and then we're finished. So you're almost there, almost there. Keep trying to push through the fatigue if you can. Really work on that endurance. But if you do need a break, that's okay. Don't worry. Have a rest. And then come right back into it if you can. Well done. Almost there. We've got 10 seconds left. Last 5. And rest. Good. Whew. Okay. One last exercise, and then we'll do a quick stretch, and that's it. So you're almost done. Okay. Next one, let me go to the side a little bit. This is the one where we're stepping forward, reaching the arms in the opposite direction, including the back arm. Then that same leg is going to step out to the side, and you're reaching your arms wide, coming back in. Then we do the same thing on the other leg. You step forward, reaching the opposite arm to leg forward, while the other arm is reaching behind you. Step back in, same leg, step out to the side, and you push those arms out to the side, spread those fingers nice and wide, and come back in. Okay, so let me show you again from the front. Step forward, reach the opposite arm and leg, noticing my hands are open. Come back in. Same leg, reaching out to the side, back in. Other leg, step forward, reach the opposite arm and leg, come back in. Leg out to the side, reach, and come back in. Noticing how when I'm doing that, I'm not sliding my leg, but I'm lifting. So imagine you're a giant and you're very loud and you're lifting your leg that's really heavy and you really got to use some effort to lift it high off the floor. Okay? Are we ready? Last 2 minutes of hard work. You can do it. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Make the movements as big as you can. Stepping out as far as you can in each direction, reaching those arms out nice and wide, making sure both of our arms are moving, not just one, both of them, especially when you step forward to reach both arms. By all means, if you want to do this slower or faster, feel free, as long as we're not compromising on the amplitude, the bigness, if that's a word, of the movement. So really lift that leg off the floor as high as you can. Reach those arms out as wide as you can, spreading those fingers. Good, well done. 1 minute left, almost there. Last minute of hard work. You can do it. See if you can keep going for the last 50 seconds without rest, if you can. If you need to rest, that's okay, but try your best to push yourself in the endurance. Almost there. You got 35 seconds. Well done, everybody. Almost there. Opening that chest. 30 seconds. You got 20 seconds left now. Almost there. Good. Well done. Last 10. 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Well done. We're going to sit forward in our chair. We're going to bring one leg out in front of us. Keep that knee nice and straight. And we're going to sweep both of our arms forward and back in. Other leg, sliding it forward, straightening that knee. We're going to sweep both arms forward and bring it back in. Other side again. Slide the leg forward, keep that knee nice and straight, sweeping the arms, almost like you're picking something off the floor, and bring it in. Other side. Slide that leg forward, sweep the arms, and bring it back in. From here, we're going to Reach the arms in the opposite direction in order to get a bit of a diagonal stretch, and then we're going to come back in. Same thing, other side. Reaching those arms in opposite directions. Spine nice and long, even though it's curved. Other side again, reaching out to the side. The crown of your head tipping to the side. One more time on the other side. Sweep those arms out and bring it back in. We're going to turn on a diagonal in our chair, so just turn your hips over a little bit. The front leg, you're going to drop that knee towards the floor. So the leg that's facing the camera, you're dropping it to the floor. Make sure you're on a diagonal. Bring that knee down towards the floor as far as you can. And you're going to lean back and slouch back to open up the front of that hip. Hold it for just a little bit longer. And then come back in. We're going to twist the body to the other diagonal now. So to the other side. Front leg is going to reach that knee towards the floor. So bring that foot back. Reach that knee toward the floor. And then you're going to slouch back in your chair to open up the front of your hip so you can stretch the front of your thigh, holding it for a couple of seconds here. And then coming back into the middle. We're going to sweep those arms down, cross them, and then reach them up and overhead and bring them back down. Nice and slow. Sweep those arms down to the floor, cross them in front, reaching up overhead and opening those arms down. One more, sweeping those arms down, cross them, reach up overhead and open them up. And you are done. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for our second class of our seated exercise series. I'll come forward because I think I see some comments here. Oh, no, it was just a comment to say the screen was frozen. Okay, well, I hope it wasn't frozen for too long. I do apologize if there's any connection issues, but hopefully you were still able to enjoy the exercise class and get a good workout. So just a reminder that the exercise is recorded and it will go onto our YouTube channel. Hopefully by this time next week, week 1 is already on there. So if you did want to look at week 1's recording, you can of course go on our YouTube channel and you can view it there. Or if you're not sure where to find it, you can send us an email at info@parkinson.bc.ca and we can send that to you as well. Same with if you have any questions, feel free to drop us an email or you can ask in the chat box if you're not too shy. Yes, I see all your comments. Thank you very much, everybody. And I know it's the exercise in sitting. A lot of the times, people always think it's pretty easy to do exercise in sitting. But if you're doing it with the right cues, it's actually pretty darn hard. So you're getting the same workout even if you are sitting and you're not doing in standing. Hi, everyone. Thanks for all your messages. Great. Thanks, everybody. I will see you next class. If you want to drop us an email, feel free, and we will chat to you later. I hope you all have a lovely end of the week. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye. See you later.